welcome back. Now you're on board the 11:24 Marsdon shuttle service onto the pier and back. You should be back at Marsdon Central by lunchtime. Enjoy the ride. It sounds fun. Indeed it does. Right, let's get the train set up. We'll get the doors open to start with. Good starting point. Master key into forwards, clear AWS. I hear a train. Oh, I know what that train is. Hold up, let's get our lights on. I can't find the marker light switch. I'm having a panic. Right, that train that we just missed. That was our, so we'll go watching. That was our rail tour we were driving yesterday. Although, in fact, it was only about 10 minutes ago in this scenario. Yeah, that was the train we were driving yesterday. Just going off the rail tour. Goodbye. That's going somewhere, some siding, somewhere probably. And then there's our train. Right, so we got our lights on properly. We got the dare running lights, all the doors are shutting. Tail lights on that side. Oh right, I think it's time to go. This is a shuttle service. You can see it's only about 5 miles, but it's a low speed limit. Oh, buzzard guard back. And DRA off, brakes into release, and power into 2. Maybe 3. There you go. Yeah, so we are going to be heading for the pier, which is about 5 miles away. Yeah. Just a shuttle service, there's no intermediate stations we need to worry about. Does the fan work? Oh, the fan works. Oh, the fan is annoying. I could try and drive with that on, but that's just too annoying. Do I hear another train? There you go. Let's just have the window open. I think I hear the train. There's a train over there. Class 222. No, I hear a train. Is that train moving? Oh, hold up. Ghost train? Oh no! No, there'll be something overtaking us. There's a 222 overtaking us because we're technically going the wrong way. But technically that bit lines by direction, so we'll go this way. Hey! Oh, there's an EMR one at the back. Stick our head out the window, or is that going to be noisy? Well, that's going to be noisy. Ah! Noise! Sound. Let's just maybe, like, not. Yeah, that was a bit noisy. Let's maybe not do that next time. Right. So, of course, if you remember from the last video, we go down to the coast. We actually go on under the line. Marsdon Pier station is literally on a, well, right next to it is a bridge, which goes over this line. Also the link line that we saw just before it, we'll see the other ends of that from here. It's that line that runs parallel to it, basically. I'll show you on a map when we're not concentrating on not speeding. What that does mean is we have a steep downhill gradient to get there. So basically this entire journey is basically a 1 in 70 gradient down. So on the way down to the pier, we just get to not put on any power, and on the way back up we just sort of full power, hope for the best. Although it should be slightly easier than the freight train we drove in the first episode up those hills, because this one is a 2-car unit and 2-car train with an engine in both units of each train. So it's basically, it should be fine. Won't need anything probably above a halfway on the power thing, and we should be good. Right. It's going to be a fun journey. It's not going to take long, probably about 40 minutes plus what I'm going to cut out of it, because you've got to remember we've got quite a long turnaround time. We should be arriving at about 11:37. I think we arrive. I think we arrive 11:37, and we depart 11:42. So I'm going to cut out that waiting time of me setting up the other cab, going back, but it should be enough to fit into one episode, so we'll have to split this one up too. Make the most of this, because this is the fastest we'll be going this entire episode, because it's 30 miles an hour for basically the entire line. Quite a nice day. No clouds by the looks of things. So our train's probably quite busy. Now think of it, maybe we should have put a 4-car train on. Because I'm pretty sure, apart from the footpath that goes next to it, which some people might take, the railway is like the only way to get onto the pier. It's very hard to like not do the railway. Same with Wide Pier, but Wide Pier has a road on it, so you can drive down to there, but the train is what most people use. Oh my, wow, that, I was so busy talking about Wide Pier that I didn't realise this corner that we're going along. Oh, and we got a tunnel. And we're speeding as well. Let's put the window up so tunnel effects don't catch that too much. I don't know what I just... Oh. Ooh. I don't know what I just hit though, but I just hit a key on my keyboard and something went click. I don't know what I did there. That could... Oh, is it the instrument lights? Yeah, I think I accidentally just hit I on my keyboard. Okay, that's fine. Fine, instrument lights are probably useful. Long tunnel. Long tunnel. I'm having to like not speak while we have tunnel effects, but it just gets boring after a little while. I mean, I can't see anything. And there's a massive reflection on my window where the windscreen wiper goes, so I literally cannot see ahead of me. Flan squeal. Flan squeal in a tunnel is not a good thing. Oh, we're nearly out of this tunnel. Nearly out of the tunnel. And there's the tunnel. Oh, there's what? I didn't realise what that was. Right, we can open the window again. Yay. See, that's the thing, like, you can see, we have been going down a 1 in 64 gradient for the last 2 minutes at least. And we'll probably be, and it just keeps going down the map. So you could probably turn the engine off in this train. You could just turn the engine off and just use the brakes. Like that, you could do that, but it's probably like a bad idea, but it would save fuel. So it's the same with last video, where at the start we can just control our speed just using the brake, and then by the end we're just going to be using the throttle, because going up the hill is our brake. Here's me just checking what's clickable. I always do that. I just want to know what you can click and what you can't click. It's get a bit boring after a little while. Sort of driving along. I try not to cut out a lot from my videos and like just leave the highlights, because if I just leave the highlights in the video, I like it sort of like you can see me driving the train, not just like see some fun things that happened in train sim that made me laugh, or I wanted to talk about. Like it's sort of like driving this route, not me talking over bits of me driving a route. But then the sacrifice for that is my videos end up at like 40 minutes each, which is that's kind of not good. But I've seen recently a lot of people just like expressing their joy of the route. Right, here we go on the map. So I'm just going to show you. We come from Marsdonshire, Marsdon Central, and we go all the way around, and you can see we run parallel to that other line we were on. If you saw. Yeah, I just wanted to quickly show you that. I was doing that. But yeah, I have been receiving a lot of comments. I try to reply to as many as I can, just sort of like people saying I'm enjoying your content, and just thanks. Because I mean, like, there is quite a bit of time that goes into doing this. I mean, at least probably 3 hours each, because I've got to record it, which takes itself 40 minutes, edit it, which that bit, like literally that's just a few cuts. That's just a few cuts in the video where it gets boring. And I record the voiceovers, that takes another 40 minutes. Well, depending on how long the video is. Then watch it back. And I'm just glad that I'm doing that for something people enjoy. And people are liking what I'm doing. Because of course, my way of looking at this is that if I stop doing this, people who do not like my stuff and do not watch my stuff, it won't affect them, because then they weren't watching it in the first place. But the people that were watching now can't watch it because I haven't got anything that I'm uploading. So it's like, even if there's not many people who like what I'm doing, still do it anyway, because I mean, first of all, it's a lot of fun for me getting to make different scenarios and record them and then put them as videos on YouTube. I mean, I started out expecting to do IRL trains, and I've ended up doing train sim. Ah, I see a link line ahead of us. I see a link line. There you go, so there's the other end of the link line. That then just goes off there. Ah, there's signs of civilization. We've just been driving through forest and fields and stuff like that for the last 6 minutes. 8 minutes. I can't count today. Yay. Lovely castle on that hill there. I think we saw that for a bit in the last video. Castle. I wouldn't really say that there's like one thing. There's lots of things I would change. Like these stations are still called like Marsdon Promenade and the old pier, Marsdon. But first of all, Marston's it's 5 miles between them, and also between that 5 miles, there's not the rest of the town. There's just nothing. So there's like 2 towns called Marsdon next to each other. It's just weird. It just doesn't work. So I'd probably like name that something else. Like, I know that Marston's meant to be like, well, it's what the what's it called? What the county's name is, Marsdonshire. for everyone outside of England watching my videos. A lot of UK counties have SHIRE at the end of them. I mean, you think of loads, like the county that I live in, Hertfordshire, that has that. Bedfordshire, Northamptonshire, all of them have. Yeah, and this one's called Marsdonshire. So obviously, like, of course, like Northamptonshire has Northampton, Hertfordshire has Hertford, and then all like the big towns, even if they're not like the biggest towns, they're all big towns. Like, you're not gonna name it after a tiny little village. So yes, it should be a big town, but it shouldn't be two towns, a big town and a slightly smaller town next to it. And by next to it, I mean like 3 miles away. Right, we're on the home straight now. That's 15 miles an hour. We come out the tunnel. I have a small amount of route knowledge of this. I haven't actually driven the whole of this route. That's the thing about this also, is that usually I just go on quick drive, see which routes I can drive on quick drive, or make a free roam scenario to test out a reskin or something, and I can't be bothered to make a full quick drive contest out of it. And I do that, and then I sort of drive about a few miles, and then just stop. But if I'm actually made this standard this scenario for us to drive, and for it to be on YouTube, we don't want to see the first 2 miles of me driving a train on a quick drive scenario. Like, you drive the whole thing. So like, a lot of this, I haven't really been down this line that much. I sort of started at the pier and drove to about the start of this tunnel, and of course it'd be going the other way. And maybe started at Marsdon and gone about half a mile out there before I realised it was boring going 30 miles an hour. But this, I haven't really driven a lot of this line. And like, Marsdonshire's a route that I really like, but I haven't driven most of it. Sometimes I just sit down and be like, I'm gonna do this. But sometimes I just don't. I just don't do it. I don't get through to doing it, and then just quit halfway. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, of my basic route knowledge, I know that out here, then it goes to 15, and then we get onto the pier, and then we got the pier at the end. I sort of, like, while I'm recording these, I try and make, like, my kind of human name, so not funny. Or, like, I mean, some of them are kind of a little bit clever, like the last one was it Sunny Scenic Special? Had a load of S's in it. And this one, I was just thinking, like, you get all those things like to somewhere and beyond, so you go to the pier and beyond, but you don't want to go beyond because that's the ocean, so it's sort of like to the pier and hopefully not beyond, because you don't want to go beyond this. That's probably what I'm going to call it, to the pier and hopefully not beyond. Anyway, last curve, that bridge there is the railway that the line that we drove yesterday, in yesterday's video. Yeah. Alright, whistle board, there's a crossing here, and there's a crossing at the other end just before the station. Now we're getting even slower. Anyway, thought 30 miles an hour was bad enough, now I got 15. Little horn there. 4 people. It's amazing looking down, like, it's a Kuju asset. Well, I don't know. I don't think it's a Kuju asset as such. It's a Just Trains asset, but it's one of the ones in the Kuju time, so it looks like it's Kuju. But it can't be anything from the original Your Local and Asset Pack, because as far as I'm concerned, there are 0 routes that came with the game then that are in that pack that have a pier on them. And it can't be Oxford to Paddington. I mean, I can't remember the other routes, but yeah. I think it's like an original Just Trains asset. I think. I don't know. It could be Kuju still. And Kuju stuff is old and bad. Like, some stuff is like okay-ish, but I just don't use it because it just reminds me of all the bad routes. Nice view onto the beach. Lovely, lovely. Out you can see all the sailboats just sailing around. There's literally like 0 anything though, it's not in the lines. It's literally just like a flat horizon. Flat. Perfect, like no islands to break it up or anything for like 270 degrees. Anyway, it's probably time to focus on stopping. And horn. And horn. That's the most important bit of a train. Right, when I look at a new pack, like, there's only 2 things I care about, which is the horn and the passenger interior view. Yeah. This one has a good horn, but it actually doesn't have a passenger view. Which is bad. The 156 has an amazing horn and an amazing passenger view. Well, basically everything is perfect. Right. I'm probably gonna cut from like maybe I'll show us what do you say? Setting up. Well, I won't show setting up the other cab, but maybe like shutting down this cab. That's it, shutting down. Oh wow, brakes. Right, so first of all, shut the window. Yeah, that's shut. Headlights into the off position. Tail lights into the on position. Marker lights into the off position. That reverse into off. Brake full service. Master key off. Alright, instrument lights off. Right, I'll see you when we depart. Back in the cab. Lovely. Right, we're back for the return run, and then we get lunch. Then we get lunch afterwards, and then we join back a little while later. Right. We departed on time. I decided to get a me not talking outside camera view of the train departing the pier from the crossing with a nice horn as well. Nice. So now it's just sort of the same journey but backwards. I don't know whether I want to like cut a bit of this away because like we already know what this is. It's just the same but backwards. Or whether I leave it, but then the video will be longer. I don't know what I want to do. I'm probably going to cut like a bit off. Like through the tunnels. The tunnel bits are boring. Just like staring into the blackness. So I'll probably cut that bit away. Also run out of stuff to talk about. Oh, my horn broke. The horn's broken. Okay, for some reason my horn broke. Can't have a train with a broken horn. That's illegal. I love train horns. They're amazing. I suppose, like, what were we talking about before we got there? Oh yeah, we were talking about people who like my channel content. So yeah, I know a lot of people have like expressed their interest, their liking to this series I'm doing, and they're liking this, which is nice. And they've got a few friends that like what I do, such as, you know, Wes on the Railway. He's my friend. We're good friends. Sort of like started YouTube about roughly, well, we started like, he started a bit before me, but he never, like, I think he may have been a bit like unsure on what he was doing, but then once we did that York trip, which got me to start YouTube, then we've been both going at YouTube and having a lot of fun with doing it. We'll watch each other's stuff, and yeah. So he does a lot of similar stuff to me, sort of like trains that he's seen, usually, well, sometimes with me. So sometimes you may notice the same train pop up in both of our videos from different perspectives. Although some of the ones I do are ones alone, like the ones at Apsley. He doesn't go on my Apsley trips. He just goes to the King's Langley one. But yeah. And like he gets a lot of support too, which is nice. Like we're both getting a lot of people who are saying, yeah, your stuff is great, and it's really nice to see like people, because like, yeah, you get all of like the big content creators doing their stuff, but then you also get smaller content creators like us that don't do things just for monetization money, and yeah, we do stuff because we like what we're doing, and we like our audience, and we like the fact we're making stuff that people enjoy. And I think that's what's really meaningful. Like originally, YouTube was just like, oh, we wanted to edit something, but I don't want to just edit it and leave it on my computer just for it to get lost of time. Maybe someone may like it on YouTube, and then it sort of started. And then I chose Slowline Train Spotting because I couldn't think of what else to call me. But I shifted to train sim content. Whoa, that's a weird optical illusion. That doesn't look like a reflection. That just looks like, oh, it's the other side too. It just looks like you're looking through loads of train cabs that are like right next to each other. Oh, that's weird. Hold up, I need to sort out my pattern, my throttle selection or speed, but then I want to look at it again. That just looks so weird. Oh no, we're coming out the tunnel. We're coming out the tunnel. Oh, why is it so? I suppose it would be about that light through there. I just noticed when you look in the reflection, the seat in the reflection, there's no driver in it. We're invisible. Yeah. There was something I was going to say, and I can't remember what I was going to say now. Yeah, I suppose, like, in terms of uploads, you may notice that recently I've been doing like really frequent uploads. And yeah, it's fun, like, going on and seeing the next part of the series. But of course, like, I can't do daily uploads forever. I mean, I'm a small scale. I'm like, YouTube isn't my full thing that I do. Like, that's just sort of like a little side thing I'm doing. No, I have got a lot of other stuff going on in my life, outside of YouTube. So this sort of daily thing is just sort of like a fun thing, because this series, like, you can't have one part every week. because then some things might not tie together. And then afterwards I'm gonna, because of course, like, since my recordings work, I haven't really had that much of a schedule, because I was planning on, it was gonna be make scenario over a week, then record on Friday, edit Saturday, post Saturday or Sunday, and then next week do the same thing again. And then everything broke, and it never really worked, and I haven't been able to get back to that rhythm, because I've had so much stuff I just needed to upload before I literally exploded. So I'm hoping that after this, like, I'm making a few scenarios to record, and then I'll record those. And after this, it's sort of just like everything's been out of line. I've been posting that when I felt like it, and not in a schedule. And then after this, I'm sort of like resetting, and then I can get back to that schedule in the new year. That's what I'm hoping. So hopefully in the new year, if things go to plan and recording doesn't break or relocate again, I should be able to I should be able to I got get back into a rhythm, get back into a schedule, and yeah. So that's sort of going to be the plan. Like, from the new year, I'm going to try and upload on weekends while I make stuff on the weekdays. But for now, we're just having fun because it's sort of Christmas. Christmas already went like 4 days ago. And yeah. Paying attention to what I'm doing still, just trying to like not crash and die or do anything else. There's going to be a lot of speeding in this when I get my end of scenario report. Like, when you leave the scenario, it's probably like speeding, like, I'm going to guess like 15 times. Probably speeding about 15 times. I never really look at that. Maybe I should. I mean, I'm gonna look at this one, but I also want to know how I did on those one, on part 1, 2, and 3. Well, part 1 and 2, and 3, because part 1 and 2 is the same scenario. I want to know how I did. Part 1, I probably did a lot of speeding because it was very hard managing speed with massive gradients, a heavy freight train, and really rapidly changing speed limits that are really low. It's probably quite hard. But part 3, the rail tour, I probably did quite well on that, I'm hoping. Right, how long have we got? We got about 2 miles, so we are almost there. That's gonna be fun. I'm just looking around. Oh, that's the cab. I've always been, this entire time, there's been one mystery that I never solved with the Class 150, which is where the cab light switch was. Okay, now I found it. Yeah. So I know in terms of in real life stuff, I have a lot of train spotting stuff that I've had to postpone due to this series coming out. I'm hoping I can get one of these out tomorrow or the day after. That'll be fun. You know, there's sort of like one that was ages ago, sometime in like November, which I still haven't got out because I've been sorting out other stuff like these scenarios. And there's one that was yesterday, and one freight I saw today, including a special livery 350 that I didn't know existed at all. It must be really new because I haven't found any pictures of it. And I saw it yesterday. I was like, I didn't get the number of that. I need to know its number. But I knew because it's only actually, the special livery is only like a bit of the train, and it had the normal livery throughout the rest of the train. So I was like, well, I know it's a /1 due to its livery, because it was in that Just the plain white ghost livery. So I just went through on Google and googled every single number of /1350, and I didn't find a picture anywhere. But we actually saw it today, and this time I got the number of it, which is great. So that was fun. So yeah, I've got that to upload. That's gonna be pretty good. Hopefully this video will be going out on the same days as I edit it, which should be Wednesday the 20th. Oh god, it's the 29th, I think. Or is it the 30th? It's one of them, but it's Wednesday. I can't even remember. Like, yeah, I'm just bad. The 30th, yes, the 30th. I definitely knew that all along. I knew it's the 30th all along. It's the 30th. Yeah, so it should be out on the 30th. In which case, for tomorrow, I mean, I'm so used to like not uploading for next week and saying like Happy Christmas, even though I'll be recording and publishing a lot closer to Christmas, but it just doesn't feel like. So I was about to say Happy New Year's Eve for tomorrow, but there's a video coming out tomorrow, so I can just say it in that one. So yeah. It's just amazing that 2020's already over. I mean, it has felt a lot longer than like 2019 because of, you know, all the unexpected COVID-19 and extra stress that no one needed. But yeah. So, but yeah, it has felt like quite a long year, but yeah, it's just amazing that it's over. Like, some people think of years like, oh wow, it's been a really long year, and some people just think, wow, it's already over. And it still feels like, I mean, so much has happened this year, like, that we just like, it happened this year, and when you realise it happened this year, then you just go, actually, this year's been really, really long. But I remember, what was it? I went up to London, like right at the start of the year. I think like January, February time. I think that was when I went up to London to do some train spotting, which I could compile into a video. And you realise, was that actually this year? And now it feels like this year's lasted like the length of about 3. Anyway, right, back onto what's going on in the scenario, because I have been doing a scenario while I've been talking to you. We're almost there. We have 1 mile left. 1 mile. You can see the end. Yay. Right. Sorry, another cut. It was worth another cut there because nothing happened. Just me talking about nonsense because I had nothing else to talk about. So I decided to cut that bit out. Anyway, right, we are on home straight. We got get down to 20 miles an hour. So going back, we left platform 5. We're coming back into platform 4. So now maybe, oh god, AWS again. Maybe now I tell you what we're going to be driving next. Next we are going up the line that go, well, we're going up the main line, but north, we're going up to Kennel Cross. We'll be doing that in a Greater Anglia 321. So I think it's a 12 car set. I can't remember where we're calling it. I can't remember if it's a fast service or a slow service. But yeah, that's what we'll be doing. We'll be up at Kennel Cross for our next scenario, but that will start a bit later because we're getting our lunch. Well, in the game we'll be having a lunch break, so yeah. Go get a sandwich, coffee, and get back. Lovely flange squeal. And that brings us basically into the station here. So, slow down. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a slightly different scenario. Still pretty fun though. Sort of a shuttle link service onto the pier. And then come back, probably mostly empty, back to Marsdon Central. And then another travel takes over and just take this train back and forth this for most of the day. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this scenario, this video. I hope you're excited for our next one. Now I haven't announced what it's going to be. Some class 321s. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you're excited. And yeah, it's not much as we just pull into the station here. Make sure we don't hit. We've got quite a short platform to stop in, and which means usually I'm used to pulling into these stations at 15 miles an hour and just not braking until I can, until at least halfway down the platform. But this I've got to be quite careful to not go too fast. But then what happens is I start over braking like that, and I stop too quickly. If someone made a graph of what it looks like for me to stop trains, it would just sort of be like stairs. Stop slowing down, then we slow down really fast, and then we sometimes speed back up again and put on a bit of power just to get us to the end of the track. So I think I did pretty well. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. As is per the tradition at the end of these scenarios, after I've done the important stuff like opening the doors and making sure the train is ready for the next driver, turning the lights off. Why is it the mark light switch? It's always the mark light switch. Oh, I always forget the DRA. That's all the bit I forget. Anyway, I'm going to find a nice shot to put the camera for the end of the episode, the end of the video. So I hope you get a good shot. No, I don't like that one. Oh, no, that's a good one. Right there. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and until the next video, which will be tomorrow with 321s. Goodbye. So I've had a little bit of a problem. I've just looked at my end of like scenario report thing that's come up, and it says signal pass at danger span once. Now, if anyone was so attentive as to look at the signalling, if anyone wants to watch back, can you just comment a little timestamp of when I passed that signal at danger? Because I'm pretty sure I didn't. Like, whether I was too busy talking to you, I'm pretty sure I didn't pass any signals that were at danger. Just let me know. I want to know where I messed up really badly. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.